So if the money's going to come here, it's going to come for the G-men. We're not going to see Miami money. Malik Willis had one really nice drive to open the game and scored a touchdown. And after that, Quinn Ewers went 1 of 8, and Cam Miller out of North Dakota State went 3 of 11, threw a couple of picks. I mean, once the two teams turned to reserves, Washington dominated Miami. The Dolphins finished only 10 first downs and 3 turnovers. And Jeff Hafley said it. He's still in installs for the Dolphins. So I'm not anticipating a lot from Miami. Their depth isn't there. As the Giants, Jackson Dart was in for 2 series, got knocked out with concussion in the first, and then came back, lead a touchdown drive in the second. It was the only touchdown they scored. Jameis Winston had a field goal drive in the 2-minute drill before halftime, then 3 and out in the first drive of the second half. Brandon Allen was pretty awful as the third quarterback. Offensive line, the backup offensive line did not play well for the Giants. I'm expecting some improvement in that regard. And again, I would not be surprised at all to see some Giants money. The market's looking for ways to bet against the Dolphins right now, not bet on them. Throwing shit on the wall and seeing what sticks. That being said, this is one game that has moved already, and I think it's worth emergency betting alert because there are still some 3s, there are still some 2s with juice out there. We know the money's coming for Jacksonville in this ballgame. Let's get the doodly-oop going. Yeah, we do expect money for the Jags. We've already seen money for the Jags. Some of this is anti-Carolina. It's worth noting. Bryce Young, 3 drives against the Bills. They didn't score any points. They didn't score any first downs. It was 3 and outs for Carolina starting offense. It's a revamped offensive line for Carolina, but both projected starting tackles sidelined with injuries. Both starting guards sat this past week and may not play again this week. Bryce Young's quote, obviously not the start we wanted, not the drives we wanted, just part of the process, a lot of moving parts. Everyone's going to feel that on the plane back. And you come back, you watch it, you learn from it, you grow, you turn the page. Kenny Pickett was next. He had a touchdown in the 2-minute drill. They didn't score again until the 2-minute drill of the fourth quarter with Kyle Trask behind center. The market's worried about Carolina's offensive line, and Carolina certainly for a first game of the preseason, not all that impressive in the loss to the Bills. The Bills pretty much dominated that game. That being said, Jacksonville didn't do a whole lot either. We could see, and the markets are telling us we're likely to see Trevor Lawrence this week. Week 2 of the preseason is a time we're going to see some teams play their starters. Some of them will play starters for extended stretches. And those are the games that are going to move from 2.5 to 6.5 over the course of the next couple of days. But the Jaguars had a nothing burger in the first half against the Saints, and then 18-0 second half. Nick Mullins, Carter Bradley, and one big play from Joey Aguiar in the fourth quarter set up the game-winning touchdown. But again, we could see Trevor Lawrence go this week. I think that's what the markets are reacting to with the early Jacksonville money. But if you like the Jags, you can still find a 3 right now. I'm not convinced it's going to be there even an hour from now. So that's why we emergency betting alerted, because the number, when you see a number that's available that's not going to be available, we need to talk about it, because the money here is going to come for Tennessee. There's already been money come in.
Yeah.
So for Seattle, Drew Block played the whole first half. Jalen Milroe played the whole second half, and neither threw downfield at all. 49 net passing yards, 156 total yards, 3 yards per play. That is not a bet on offense. For the Titans, Cam Ward, Will Levis, Mitch Trubisky. You have a backup quarterback battle. You have Hendon Hooker, all veterans for Tennessee. They combined 12 of 26 for 113 yards and took 3 sacks. It wasn't pretty. There's urgency for Tennessee. Robert Saleh, quote, talking about Cam Ward, looked like his mechanics were a bit more sped up than it has been. We can correct it when that's what the preseason is for. Saleh, the quarterback metric is third down, red zone, 2-minute drill. Those are the categories where the quarterback shines and pulls the teams for all. It was heavy money for the Titans this last week. That was basically the only line move that won. Let's bet it very late. And Saleh played his starters, which I'm not convinced we're going to see from Seattle this week, the defending champs. They've got bigger fish to fry. I do expect Tennessee money. We've already seen some Tennessee money. There are 1.5s and 2s out there. Those are gone right now. Would not be surprised if someone buys out the 2.5s in the not too distant future.
Teddy, always a pleasure to start the week with you here. Want to remind folks on the way out, nearly 1,000 people watching live. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in live. This is every single Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. on the West Coast. You tune in. We'll get you ready to rock here for betting NFL, whether it's preseason. We roll all the way through the Super Bowl, and we do some post-game after the Super Bowl as well. But Teddy, code Teddy50. You want to be a part of it? Obviously, tune in here. This part's free. This is all the information. Teddy is rocking and rolling. He starts his handicapping week for free with you right here. You want to hop on board all season long, Teddy? Teddy50 will take 50 off, and it's something you're pretty excited about heading into this season.
No doubt, guys. I mean, look, I expect to win this year. I expect to win big this year. That's my, we're not going into the season with anything but high expectations. So join me. I encourage you if you're interested. Again, I understand it's not for everyone. You don't have to. I'm not going to twist your arm. We appreciate the likes. We appreciate the comments. We appreciate the follows. I understand that buying picks isn't for everyone. But if you're interested, it's a good deal. Get on board. Let's partner up. Let's see if we can make some money. Again, Teddy50 at checkout. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.
Appreciate y'all. Bet